Should every company consider using cloud computing? Cloud computing might sound very appealing when it comes to managing IT infrastructure in an organization. However, there are many instances where using cloud computing might not be practical. To understand different circumstances in which cloud computing may or may not be used, we need to understand what actually cloud computing offers. On a high level, cloud computing offers automation and scaling of hardware and software off-premise, that is, remotely. Why is it offered remotely? It is because it's far easier to automate and scale a cloud computing environment when set up in certain locations owned by those specific cloud providers. It is also because once you manage many millions of computers in one location instead of individual client organizations, it saves cost and increases automation capabilities. What does this mean for a business? Any business where the hardware used can't be scaled automatically will require a non-cloud-based solution. Also, any business where the hardware to be deployed is geographically placed can't be supported by a cloud computing vendor that can support it, and this is quite common. Take a telecommunication company for example. One of their main functions is to connect phones so that they can make calls. They do this using cell towers. They set up cell towers in several geographical locations through which mobile phones communicate. Could a cloud computing organization help automate creation of cell towers? Then it is unlikely that they will be able to offer telecommunication services from a cloud computing standpoint. What would happen if cloud computing is proposed to be used in the transport industry? Take shipping for example. If ships need to connect to their cloud computing environment while in deep sea, they will require internet. This is extremely hard to facilitate with a high degree of reliability. Similarly, if planes used cloud computing, they will need internet to connect to cloud computing environment. This too is hard to achieve with a high degree of reliability. How about situations in which speed is important? If a computer is supposed to compute at a high frequency while also taking inputs and outputs at a high frequency, then it will not be able to do this using cloud computing. Why is that? This is because cloud computing requires connecting to the cloud environment via the network. When network communication is introduced during computation cycles, the performance of that operation drops dramatically. Imagine you had two friends, Mary and Simon. Mary is good in mathematics and can answer your questions immediately. But Simon needs to ask his mom for the answer. You start a game with both of them, where you ask math questions and see who answers first. Whenever you ask a question, Mary starts solving the problem immediately. Simon goes to look for his mom, ask her the question. And his mom solves it and tells him the answer. Then he comes back and tells you the answer. Who do you think will give you the answer to questions earlier in most cases? It would be Mary, because she only has to calculate the answer. But Simon needs to relay the information to his mom. Then his mom has to calculate the answer, where again Simon has to bring back the answer. When cloud computers are introduced in situations where computations are done at a high frequency, and the inputs and outputs need to be communicated in each computation cycle, it isn't practical to use cloud computing. But does this mean there is no cloud computing solution for the problem? Well, cloud computing providers also talk about on-premise solutions. Basically, what they mean is, they try to bring the scaling and automation capabilities into your organization's infrastructure, rather than retaining it remotely. This can very well help solve some of these problems.